business. This is not your private business. This is a government.
And they do what they want to and when they want to. The mayor have practically gave them the key to the city of East Cleveland.
We have a lot of elderlies living over here. They cannot stand the dust. Cannot enjoy our porches, our backyards no more. As you drive down Euclid Avenue, it's unbelievable, totally unbelievable. And the city, when I say the city, I'm talking about elected officials. They don't give a damn how this city looks. All the other financial problems we got. Now you see, now that truck that just went by, that's a 22-wheel truck. That's what we be bothered with out here. No top on there, no canvas top, no nothing.
East Cleveland is a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. Like a lot of predominantly black inner cities, it is plagued with unemployment, crime, poverty, and instances of police corruption. Yet its biggest threat to the community does not involve a gun, a cop, or anything illegal. Its biggest threat is a legally operated recycling dump site that many fear is being used as a form of environmental racism.
The media worries about it, but it's not the problem. The problem is all the other days when you can't see this pollution. So it stays like this, and you don't often get to see the pollution unless you get into a vantage point above the city.
Oppression has always had a human face in the black community. Today it's as small as a 1/5 diameter thick human hair in the form of diesel fuel exhaust. But before we go further, let's focus on the obvious. Upon driving by the recycling site, one might focus on the awful towering debris that continues to get higher and higher on a weekly basis. In fact, the operators at the site have recently pushed the debris outward to possibly mask their daily operations from curious residents.
They start coming in every morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they constantly bring in trucks in all day and dumping. We deal with breathing diesel fumes from these trucks. We put up with the noise every day, all day. From day to day, this is like a living hell. Day in and day out.
Living on Noble Road for 46 years, and this is going into the second year that this dump been here. When they originally got started,
we contacted lawyers. Don't nobody want to deal with the case. They want you to put money up front, and then they're gonna feed you a bunch of baloney that you can't, ain't nothing we could do about it. He got all the legal permits and everything that he needs.
Residents in East Cleveland have spent the last 15 months trying to get the site shut down. However, according to the EPA and Cleveland Division of Air Quality, several inspections ranging from July 2015 to as recent as April 27, no major violations were found. Despite residents' claims, EPA says no significant amount of asbestos was found in the debris. Also, per email of the EPA to Melanated Media News, there is no law regulating the height of the debris as well.
I disagree totally with that, because when the dust and stuff is blowing, we call EPA. They will come, but they will come late in the evening or they come the next day.
And we can't get no help. You call, they give you an assistant, or you leave a message, nobody calls you back. They don't care about us.
Anytime after 6 a.m. in the morning. Normally they get started around 6:15, and they can go go all the way up until maybe around 4 o'clock. Well, the only thing I can say is that as far as that odor, this is the first time I've actually smelled this type of odor. But what I do smell is diesel fuel. The diesel fuel over here is terrible. You hate to smell this stuff morning, noon, and night.
Yet, just because a law is not being violated doesn't mean human rights aren't. Ohio EPA has informed Melanated Media News that there is no diesel fuel emission regulation despite its being a carcinogen. Cities such as Paris, France, and New Delhi, India, have taken progressive action to reduce diesel exhaust. Also, this year's mayoral election in London, the most important issue is not unemployment, racism, or health care, but diesel fuel. Diesel fuel exhaust kills over 10,000 annually in London and over 40,000 in the UK.
So why can't you see it as you walk about the place in the city? Well, it's simply size. The human eye can't see these tiny particles. They can't see the oxygen gases. And this is the illustration of this. If you take a hair from your head and you hold it up, and if your eyesight is as good as mine, you can just about focus on it. And that's because it's 60 microns in diameter. The particles that we're talking about, the biggest ones, are PM10, 10 microns in diameter. So you can get 6 of those across a human hair. But the majority of them are much smaller than that. They're PM2.5 or even smaller, ultrafine particles. And these are the ones which we're now producing in very large amounts from our transport sectors. They weren't there before. The previous generation didn't suffer these in these sorts of quantities. They're new. We have produced these through the modern combustion engine in very, very large quantities in urban areas.
In April 2016, Cleveland was rated 11th in the country in air pollution by the American Lung Association. The biggest contributor, air particle matter in the form of emissions via exhaust. Studies show that diesel fuel exhaust can stunt children's brain development, creating a toxic learning environment for the children who attend the numerous schools within a 1-mile radius of the dump site. To make matters worse, operating inches from the dump site is a railroad. Railroad workers and truck drivers are the most susceptible victims of lung cancer due to the inhalation of diesel smoke.
Particle pollution is dangerous because the particles are so tiny that they bypass the body's natural defenses and lodge deep in the lungs where they can cause serious damage.
I've been to my doctor on 3 different occasions. I'm taking medicine now because of my throat and this breathing problem that I do have here. I'm allergic to this stuff here. I talked to the mayor and I've talked to council about it, and they say there's nothing about it.
I would say it'll never happen in Palm, never happen in Soda, but it happened here because this is a total African-American city where our elected officials, uneducated, and don't understand what a recycling center is and what damage that it can do.
Numerous studies show that environmental racism is no coincidence to those who live under the poverty line. There are many instances of environmental racism across the country today. Despite lung cancer killing more people per year than police officers, environmental racism is important enough for the voters to push the issue onto the presidential candidates to discuss how they will resolve it. Stay tuned to Melanated Media News as we provide ongoing coverage on how this situation unfolds.
They suffer, and this is what we breathe every day. The EPA has been out here. They found nothing. They found it was a clean site. And hey, they live a quality life. They don't care about poor people. And the mayor don't give a darn about us because he let them put this thing here.